Hello viewers, my name is Adam,
Oh, man.
and this is Seeking Media Productions. And we're going to be reviewing the movie Ready Player One. Woo! Steven Spielberg is, I'm guessing he's finally getting his groove back, especially in the blockbuster field. And Ready Player One, which is a very nostalgic piece of filmmaking, is sure to be making a lot of people much more happy as far as how many references they can put out there.
It was basically Easter egg the fucking movie.
It really is. In fact, I'm actually quite surprised that he wasn't actually going to put a lot of his stuff in there because he's basically one of most of pop culture's famous filmmakers.
He did show some restraint, I guess, in a way, but at the same time, the movie felt so much like one of his own flicks that he didn't really need to.
Yes.
I mean, you go in and from start to finish, it felt like, yeah, Steven Spielberg definitely made this film.
And it's, if I were to put a comparison, it's like Raiders of the Lost Ark with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And
Yeah.
just scavenge whatever Easter eggs you can find. And from there on, we have a story that is very simplistic, I have to say, but it is has a lot more going forward as far as the visuals and I'll say the fun of it, just seeing what other pop culture aspects or references you can find. And from there, we can say that it's not too much of a Henderson of how simplistic the story is because
Henderson. I think that was a
Henderson.
movie.
Henderson. Ooh, hold on.
Yeah.
I was thinking Jim Henson. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And it's like it actually has a little bit more of a video game feel from the plot as well.
Yeah, I would say so. It definitely felt like this was a video game from start. Start to finish, but at the same time, I mean, it's a video game that I definitely probably would have played, but I don't know if I would have wanted to play it more than once.
And it's right because there is if you want to watch the film multiple times, it'll only be for what you missed. From pop culture references is in there.
Yeah.
But the story is one that is told many, many times before. Especially how it progressed and even some of the characters, very archetypes and generic.
Yeah, these were generic archetype characters. I mean, when we mean archetype characters, basically one note type of individuals where you have the good guy, the badass, they were all geeks and nerds, so yeah. I guess that they all had that particular kind of archetype within them. But the girl who takes no attitude, I think there was two of them, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah.
But then again, I mean, you need to watch the film to understand it.
You have the go-getter main character, the badass two other characters that have a reveal later on in the movie. And you got the snooty but yet charismatic business guy as the villain.
But it was diverse, though. It was a very diverse movie, considering that they didn't even really have to do all that when you're dealing with characters that go in and out of a fantasy world and the real world. So I was actually kind of happy and surprised and pleasantly surprised to have that.
And though that diversity comes from the fact that this is based on a book and they were actually a lot more respectful from that aspect of the film because two of the characters, they're Asian. You have the female and you have another character who's revealed later in the film because it's supposed to be a plot twist that was revealed as a joke before the film. And you'll see why it's still a little bit more of a diverse film in that regards. But despite this very straightforward plot and the generic characters, I will say what really does still show up for me is the production. And Steven Spielberg does not hold back at all.
I mean, I would say production as far as camera work in this film was done really well. It was a joyride. I thoroughly enjoyed embracing the wackiness and the super cool action that was going on. There was basically something to see with every frame. But at the same time, I definitely do notice the CGI that was used in this film. It was pretty noticeable at some times, but you kind of forgive it because of the way that they actually shoot each scene.
Yeah, and I would like think that why didn't they just make this as an animated film?
I think this would have done 10 times better as an animated film. They didn't really need to do this as a live action.
Like, no, because it wasn't very much variety in the live action space anyway, and it did like flip flopping around. Like, luckily they did keep to the mainly the Oasis part of the game.
That would the only guy I could imagine if you had just did like most of the film in the real world and only had brief emphases going back and forth inside the Oasis. That would have made this. That would have killed the film for me, but. Thankfully, that doesn't happen. You have a respectful amount of you going within the Oasis and actually exploring the world of Oasis.
The music is being composed by legendary film, composer Alan Silvestri, who ironically does compose a lot of the references that come from this film. A lot of visual cues, a lot of that make me happy, and like pretty sure makes some of you happy if you can pinpoint where every moment in the film is highlighting. And I would say, going back to live action, it's very basic in Steven Spielberg dystopian future like it is like you just tell that he's still pulling from that Minority Report visual aesthetic when it comes to the live action parts of the film. If you are going to have live action parts of the film, I would have wanted him to flesh out that world just as much. So,
yeah, that would have helped out a lot. I mean, you only got the sense that they were living in a time where people just did not feel like having to stay in their mundane lives. I mean, that's okay. That's a story plot in and of itself, but I wish it would actually went further into it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for what you get, you're not really necessarily going to miss it, nor at the same time are you going to necessarily say that it was too much.
Yeah, I fully agree. And from that on, it said, my verdict for this film is, I'm going to say it's still a good film. It's not, it's being far from okay because Steven Spielberg does a lot visually to help bring up the story as much as possible. I think it would have been great if they did flesh out the live action world a lot more and very much so pull up the more themes that they were addressing the film to make them a lot more clearer instead of like just talking down to you like near the end.
Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, it doesn't go preachy too either. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I went into this film with pretty low expectations, and I left it feeling that I didn't waste my time. It was actually time worth spent. I enjoyed what I saw, and that was about it. So yeah, I gotta agree with you. If my verdict is just a good movie.
Yeah, it's very fun, very harmless, and something different to watch in this very vast and still blockbuster field filmmaking.
Yeah, but as always, I'm Aaron.
I'm Adam,
and this has been Seeking Media Productions.
Thank you for watching.